Alright, thank you very much. Hello everybody, it's your good friend Pozzible here, and I'm back in action, doing what I do best, checking out the movies and writing the reviews. You know, for this particular movie, I'm proud to be reviewing first-time director Jessica Cameron's version of Truth or Dare. Now, how to really understand her version of Truth or Dare? First, you have to start by imagining to yourself a Disney version of Truth or Dare. More of a Pollyanna style story where basically you have a young gentleman, played by Ryan Kaiser, who is a little unsettled, but he wants to fit in with the cool kids, and he wants to belong. And he finds it very difficult until one night, at a party, he gets to play Truth or Dare with them and suddenly finds acceptance, okay? If you can imagine a movie like that, believe me, going 180 degrees does not even begin to describe the difference between that movie and this movie right here, Jessica Cameron's Truth or Dare. There are very few words that describe this movie. You know, it's always wonderful when a person decides not to fit into a genre, but to go beyond the genre. And that is what Jessica Cameron did and succeeded in doing with Truth or Dare. She doesn't push the envelope, people. She shoves it out the door and out the state and out the country, believe me. This is not a blood bath. It's not even a blood orgy. It's more like a blood ocean. All right, that's another way I can describe it. You basically have the disturbed individual played by Ryan Kaiser, who wants to fit in with this YouTube video people who do Truth or Dare. The thing is, they've gotten to be phonies, and they're not doing real Truth or Dare style stuff to the extreme that Derek wants them to go in. Again, played by Ryan Kaiser. And so he decides when he gets them alone and no one can come and save them, he gets them playing the game his way, which is just as bloody and just as torturous as you can imagine. Actually, no, believe it or not, you can't imagine it. That's the best part about this movie. It goes much further than one would expect. That said, it goes in directions few would dare to tread, okay? There are elements of this movie I don't know if I should really say, I don't want to ruin the surprise, but let's just leave it at that. They go places no other movie would dare to go. And that was one of my favorite parts, you know? Because think about it, if you got a murderous psychopath with you and wants to play Truth or Dare, how are you supposed to survive it? Well, you choose truth, because you know if you choose dare, you're in real trouble. And but you know what? You are never safe with this guy, and you are not safe in this movie. Now, if I were to describe this movie in one word, I have several words for this, but the first word that I would use is progression. And that's the best part about this movie. There's a good flow to this movie, but there's also a build-up. You know, there's a lot of elements to this movie that you don't find in other movies. And this one has a good build-up. It starts off small, starts off innocent and good, and it just builds a little bit more and a little bit more, and it just keeps building. And that's the best part about it. The other part that I like about this movie is I give this movie a lot of heart. The direction was spot on. Good camera angles, a nice flow of what's happening. And when it comes to the acting was dedicated. A true sense of what was happening. This movie surprised me because it's a horror movie, torture movie. You're supposed to think stupid people right off the bat. No person in their right mind would ever be caught in their situation. That is not the case with Truth or Dare. You really get a sense that something like this could really happen, that people could be in a situation. Ryan Kaiser's character, Derek, had complete control of the situation at all times. There were very few moments. I was just waiting for that moment where I said, okay, they could have tackled him here. They could have stopped him here, but they never really had that moment. It was a nice surprise the way he showed up, and the way he kept everything handled was very well thought out, and I was very pleased with that. One thing about this movie I do have to say, though, and this is one thing I cannot deny, when you look at Truth or Dare, you're supposed to get an idea that Jessica Cameron's character was supposed to look like this throughout the movie. all bloody, all messed up because everyone got completely tortured in this show. But that said, the moral to Truth or Dare, or should I say the making of it, the moral of the story is, be the director. You noticed how at almost all times Jessica was ready to go out on a date. I struggled when I first saw this movie because I knew nothing of Jessica Cameron before this movie, and I watched this thinking to myself, I wonder who the director is. And then I noticed that there's this one character who didn't get all bloody, who didn't get all her makeup running or sweaty or looking all messed up, but was always very pretty. She could have left at almost any time, except for the end. She could have left this movie at any time and gone on a date or gone out. She didn't have to shower or anything like her castmates did. Just had to point that out, okay? Now, as with Pozzible movie reviews, we always give 3 options. Is this movie a pass, a decide, or a see it? Well, guys, pass means avoid it. You shouldn't be watching it. I don't recommend it. Decide means you'll have to decide for yourself, do some more checking up on it. And see it says you could go see it. Now, these kind of bloody torture porn movies are not my style. I don't go for them. I saw The Collector, hated it because it had no plot, no story, no character development, no nothing. And so I haven't seen Hostel yet, so I can't say anything about that. But when it comes to a movie like this, what can I really give it? Oh, I give it a see it. If you haven't seen it, I give it a see it. Now, of course, I'm going to throw in there a niche because basically it's one of those things that's really got to be your cup of tea. But I really think that this is a surprising movie. Even those who don't like torture horror, bloody horror, would enjoy this movie. You just have to make sure you're not offended very easily, because if you are, then you might be looking at the wrong movie. This is obviously for those who are more, looking for the extreme type of stuff, but the acting in it, the truth or dare game that they play, and the way they play it, and the way things progress is just spot on. Well done. And this is her directorial debut. One of her first movies. You look it up on IMDb. This is the first movie under her credit. It is an awesome movie to her credit, and I hope to see more from her. Maybe not torture movies or screen stuff. Maybe some good horror, or I think Jessica's got some real talent here, and I'm hoping to see more from her. All right, guys, that's it for me today. We will check you out at the theaters.